Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Learn How to Live. Hi, Amel.
Hello, Maria. Hi, everybody. We're so happy to be here again today.
We are so happy. It's honestly a gift to be able to just express ourselves and share our insights and share our feelings and work through them. And that will become today's topic, which is actually about circumstances and rising above them, not running away from them. And Amel has some fantastic insights to introduce us to, so we can manage this.
Yeah.
No more running. Hey, Amel.
Hey, Maria. Yeah. So you actually spoke about working through them, through the emotion or feelings or whatever. What if there was no working through? What if this episode was the end of working through anything? And that actually we come to the realization that our circumstances, first, they are not our reality, but they also are not what makes us happy or unhappy. And they are not the problem. Isn't it a great, the fucking great news of the year? What if you don't have to change anything to your life ever to be happy, to be excited, to be extraordinary, to have a life like out of this world just right now by one simple choice? What if that was the case? And that's exactly what we spoke of, just, offline, and came down to, what if we were talking about that today? So what it was about looking at the fact that with everything that's going on globally, we can say that mostly we're focused on the fact that our circumstances are the problem. We should change them. We should go back to what was before. But what was before is the problem. The past is the problem, not the actual thing that's going on. It's because we refuse what's happening today. We don't want to face it. We don't want to meet it. We don't want to meet the pain that's eventually associated with it. Therefore, what we do, we default to go back to the past. And the going back is the problem. There are no real problem. And it's really beautiful that we spoke about that, Maria and I, because today I wanted to talk about, I want to call the visionaries today. And it's perfect because what if the change you can be and the difference you are in this world is in the future? What if your extraordinary life is in the future and you have to go there to bring about a new experience of reality for all of humanity now in this moment and every moment of now, every day? That every time you go to the past, every time you're going to fall down, you're going to crash. Your business is going to fall apart. Your relationship is not going to go well. Your feeling, the way you feel, is just going to go down. You're going to feel depressed. You're going to want to cry. You're going to think about everything that didn't go well and how it was better in the past. But what if that is not true? What if actually it's your relationship to time that is a problem, that you think you have to live from the past, the now, to the future, and that actually it is the opposite way for you? What if you are to come from the future? And that's why I wanted to call the visionaries. And this is a perfect topic for that, because your circumstances, what's happening today and what happened before, didn't cause the way you feel. But the way you relate to them and the fact that you come from opposite of your nature, from the past to the future instead of from the future to the past, that's what makes the whole difference. So I have a little exercise to invite you into. I think I didn't do that yet. So it is really different today, right? You start the show. We do something different. And so the exercise would be for you to just take a moment and put yourself in the future. Go and connect to the energy of your future. And you don't have to know specifically what is your future. You might have vision, you might have images, you might have a sense, you might still have project or ideas, or even something you really would like to happen and you see it in the future. And because of that, you say, oh no, but that cannot be true because it's only something I want to happen. Well, but what if that is the truth though? So go in the future, be there in the future and feel this energy radiating. Future is radiating everything that you already are, because everything that is in your future already happened. So when you think you have to step from here to there, you opposite your nature and you're gonna have to make a lot of effort. But come from the future, feel this energy, bring this energy now. Like put your intention that the energy you're feeling now about this future is probably light. It's probably a lot of energy, harmony, joy, excitement. It's exhilarating to be there. You can feel, oh my God, I made a difference. I did it. This is who I truly am. And just bring this here. Bring this here. And tell your actual self from the future self. Tell it one thing that it needs absolutely to know. She or he needs absolutely to know right now for his life or her life. It can be as simple as, oh my God, don't even think about anything. You made it. Every step you took was the right one. And it did happen. You did it. Maybe that's what it is. Or maybe it is, you can truly trust. There is absolutely nothing you have to worry about. It's incredible here. Let it go. Leave the insecurity. Just go into space. Be space. And from that, live your life, because everything is amazing. And I can tell you that everything you worry about never happened, doesn't exist. Let it go. It's only extraordinary. Bring all this here. And feel every cell of yourself, every cell and all your energetic field in which you are. Feel it being filled with this new future, this future informing you right now of what's possible and of who you truly are, who you already are and are becoming. How is it, Maria?
It's peaceful. I personally don't feel like there's anything to run away from anymore. There's no sense of stress or fear. In fact, I feel certainty.
Mm-hmm.
And faith, I think, is the energy.
Yeah.
It feels like faith, and it feels like trust.
Yeah.
And it feels really fun and happy and nice and exciting. There's many, many emotions that are just coming to me right now from it.
Yeah.
And I even forgot what I was running from.
That's amazing. That's perfect. It's you in your nature. That's exactly it. When we are in our nature, there is no problem. So whatever the circumstances are in your life today, they are not the problem. You being opposite your nature is the only problem. Change your energy, go in your nature, and you'll see no problem exists there. We make them up so that we can be part of the cultural field. And we can be neutral and we can just stay status quo. But we are called as a society, as citizens, as person, as all the roles we can play. We are called to so much more now. We just cannot keep playing small. We cannot keep playing to the one we are not. This time is over. We have to live in our nature. And all the ones who are listening to this show, because you're listening to it, because you're hearing this message, you are called. You are part of these visionaries that are really called to something different. And this is your responsibility now to bring this new future for yourself and all the ones you're going to bless by being the one you are and not playing small and not, belittling yourself or even believing you cannot do it. Because when you are in your nature, you can do anything. And when you feel I'm not enough, I'm not legitimate for that, I don't know how, pray. Ask God, because that moment you feel that is the humility that is necessary to call on what is greater. And when we don't feel like that, we play as if we were God. And so we take his place and we think we can do everything by ourselves. So just know that that sense of not being enough, that sense of not being legitimate is a gift. It is a gift and nothing else. It's you being one, like having the humility to be one with your creator. And that changes everything. And can I say a little story about it? So last week I was giving a retreat here in France, and there were like quite a lot of people, 45 people we were. And I could feel from day one, I was called to step up higher than I ever did and called to do something that I never done before. And I was like, I don't know how I can do that. I just don't know how I can do that. I don't know how I can do that. I'm just fucking scared. And so I was like, okay, Armelle, just go in space. In space, there is no fear and you can do anything. And then I just felt, yes, it is true. I cannot do it and I will never do it. But when I step back and ask, can you just show me how? Can you come through? Do it. I give you space. Like just, I will step back and let him lead the way. And that's when things happen. And so it was amazing because I told the whole group. So today I feel called to do something that I've never done before. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe nothing will happen and I'll feel completely humiliated. And if something happens, we will all know that God came down on us. And it was incredible. People had profound experiences. They were like, oh my God, what happened? Like the unity, the sense of oneness, like the explosion of the hearts, of laughter. It was incredible to live that. And this is not the most important thing, even though it was amazing and they certainly have been changed from that. What was the most amazing is that because of me sharing where I was at and me explaining to him the process, they all knew that by my trust, they now can know, because of what they experience and what they've seen the others experiencing, that God is answering. God is never leaving us alone when we ask, and that we are ready to hear the answer, to step back and to follow him and to let him take the wheel. So yeah, it's incredible. And I feel like it's so perfect to go with what we're talking about. There is no going back to the past. Okay, we saw it at the beginning. The past is the pain. The past is the problem. You visionary, go to the future and bring this here. You know what's possible. You know the difference you can make, and you will never be enough to make it. And when you go there and you ask, guide me and take the wheel, you are enough then. And you are exactly feeling what you shared, Maria. So many emotions coming through in just a short time, and such a high excitement and certainty. Yes, I do know. I don't know. When I shrink, I come back in myself and I go to the past and I just think about myself. But when I realize that I am so much more than that, that I become space, I go to the future and I realize that I'm here to serve. And I'm here for all these people that I can bless. And I ask, guide me. Now I am enough. And circumstances are nothing then.
So would you say, Amel, that when we experience emotions that are not comfortable, such as pain, for example, that is an indication that we are living in our past and an invitation for us to step into the future, to relinquish those circumstances per se?
Yeah, I when we are any emotions that are difficult, any anger, any frustration, any pain shows us that we are neutral. We don't have enough energy. And pain, for example, is there to stop us and make us think or make us do things differently. And wonder about, okay, am I going the right direction? Is my life exactly the way I want? Am I living based on my values? Am I true to myself? Am I true to what I feel called into? Am I in tune with life and aligned with my being, where it's guiding me? And so, and I feel that when we start to see that, and we start to see that circumstances are not the problem, everything that we feel, off is actually us being neutral energy, or low, poor energy, even lower. And when we start to see that, there is a problem, but we don't see it as a problem and more as an opportunity, then we are high neutral. We start to have ideas about, okay, this is going on, but I can do that. It's allowing me to do that. I could create that from it. I could do that. And then it starts like to fuel us, actually. And it's not a problem anymore. It is a problem that is fueling opportunities and fueling creativity. And then if we go even in more energy and we are really energy rich, then there isn't even a problem. There's just life unfolding, and you don't even see circumstances as a problem. So that's where you have to see, is that the level of energy that you have that is creating the thought that you think, that is attracting the thought that you think, and therefore the stories that are going on in your mind. And they will relate to the circumstances, because life is well done. Otherwise, if it wasn't relating, it's crazy. We would think, okay, I see the default in the program, I'm not going to believe this shit. But it's so well done that they are relating to the circumstances, right? So we do believe them until we don't, because they have nothing to do with it. They are just showing us, I'm neutral. I don't have enough energy to think in another way. So in that moment, what do? Maybe I just rest. Maybe I go for a walk. Maybe I just call a friend that I know, when I talk to that friend, I always have great energy. Or I don't know, maybe I just take a bath. Something that's just going to make me feel good in this moment. But it's not a problem. Sometimes we also need to use this energy to regroup and to, just come back to ourselves so that we can go and give more. So all of it is very important to see that when we're doing all of this, it is creating something different. Just as you say, if you don't judge the way you feel and you just allow it, and you just, okay, this is the way I feel today. Then you wake up next morning and you have an insight, and then you feel like, oh my God, this is amazing. Life is completely different right now. So that's the beauty of it. When you don't judge, that you just acknowledge things as they are. You're aware of the energetic that's there. It's like, okay, there's not enough energy. There's not a lot of energy right now. That's how it is. And when there is not, I think these crappy thoughts, and I don't have to believe them nor make a problem out of it either. It's just the way it is. And then I move on. It's like, okay, this is going to be like that now. And nothing wrong. what often creates the problem and makes it stay is that we make it wrong. We make it as if it wasn't normal that it's that way. And it is, because that's how it is in the moment. So to me, it's like I'm giving a conference after the recording of this show tonight, and the person sent me one question, and the conference is about soul, and the question was about what is concretely the opening of the heart. And I was like, concretely, that's a really good question. So because I know nothing, honestly, I don't. I just let him speak, right? I just sat with it. I'm like, I don't know. That is, and I was like, wow, that's quite a question. And I sat, and then I waited, and then suddenly I'm like, what if the opening of the heart was non-judgment, was not judging circumstances, ourselves, people, the way we feel, what's going on in the world, and was also just accepting or welcoming life as it is, being with what is. What if just that is the opening of the heart? Because then we don't close down. We don't go back to the past. We're just, okay, that's how it is now. So what? What's wrong with it? That's how it is. And yeah, it made a lot of sense to me.
And me too. Because that is God coming through you to share this wisdom. So it's that's really beautiful. And it doesn't feel forceful, does it? It's exactly. Not do this to open your heart. Right? I don't know. That's magic, Elnell.
Yeah. And that's often the misconception that are shared in spiritual circle or self-development, self-help, is that you have to do something to change your circumstance, to change your reality, to change yourself, to change your life. Fuck it. This is over. There's nothing you have to do to change. Just choose another energy, or recognize just, I have no energy right now. That's how it is. Nothing wrong with it. It's just how it is. And don't believe any of the thoughts that are coming through your mind, because they are false anyway. And that's it. That's as simple. And the next moment, just because you don't judge it, you don't make it wrong, which would be fixing it and, and holding on to it, doing that, then life has the freedom to change it, because energy is free. It keeps moving. There's nothing wrong. So energy keeps moving, right? And so by itself, it will rise up. And suddenly you're like, oh, well, something changed. I don't even know. I didn't do anything. No, because there is nothing to do about it. It's all about being. And it's all about really allowing this magical flow of life each and every moment, remembering that where you live, visionaries, is in the future. And you have so much to bring here. So much to bring here.
Yes. This was like a water fountain of wisdom and knowledge today. For me, what stood out was humility, knowing that I do not need to have the answers. And not only that, just the humility to invite God to come in, the humility to not even judge what is happening or how I'm feeling, as you say, not what's happening, how I'm feeling, not judging that.
Yeah.
And then just stepping back and allow things to just happen for you and that energy to move. And then suddenly you forgot.
Yeah.
What was stopping that energy in the first place?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it. We're going to say yes.
I was going to say, it even moves you towards new energy.
Yeah. You don't even have to do it.
Uh-huh.
Because truly, there isn't one that is doing anything. There isn't someone inside of us living us. Life is living us each and every moment. There isn't a separate self living in the body deciding for us. That is not true. We think like that. We think we are a person with something like, where's the person first? But we think it's in this body. And we think that we are the one thinking, but we are not. Thoughts are just in the vastness of consciousness, the one universal consciousness. And there isn't someone separate living in this body. I've looked for many years. I've looked for it. I was constantly asking myself the question, who is the one thinking? Who is the one eating? Who is the one walking? Who is the one crying? Who is the one being angry right now? Who is the one taking the shower? There never is anyone who answered me. It was on silence to this question, and that was the answers. So I feel that when we truly inquire into the nature of life and of who we are, we realize that we are so much more and vaster than what we think. And that is, to me, that is what reality is. That is who we are. And when we come to that, when we realize that, and that we embody the space we are that space, and you bring it here into action, it comes from a completely different place. And then it's easier because we don't see any problem. We don't see circumstances as the problem. We see just a lack of energy or plenty of energy. And then we enjoy it. We don't even think about anything else then.
Again, Amel, this has been perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so
timing.
too. Yeah. And the last thing maybe I want to say, because we are at the end, in Europe, it's still the holidays. It's finishing in a few days, I think. The kids are going to start school in a few days only. And I want to say something that has completely changed my life many years ago. I was living in Hawaii back then. It was in 2013. And I remember I was on my bed and I was going through a very tough time. And suddenly I had this realization that, wow, I am not the one in control. I just can't change the way I feel. Like right now, this is how I feel. And I can't control me. And I realized that, wow, this is huge. So why would I judge it then? And the moment where I saw that, I stopped judging the way I felt. So all that to say, to relate it to what you told me offline just before, that you realized that something about that you said, about not judging the way you feel. And so when you realize that, then there is something else that opens up. And I relate it to the holidays, because to me, it's like the huge holidays. The hugest holiday there is actually stopping judging yourself for the way you feel or for how life is. It's like eternal vacation. And then you can go to Hawaii, you can go to Bali, you can go anywhere and enjoy it even more, because you don't need that in order to feel good. You go there because you're just feeling guided there and you enjoy it to be there. That's all. And it's different to do that from that place instead of doing it from, I need that in order to feel good, which would then be a fix of circumstances. So if you ever want the greater, the biggest, the eternal vacation, I would say quit judging yourself, your life, your circumstances, the way you feel. It's amazing. It doesn't mean everything's going to be perfect, like you were saying. Like, oh, life is never going to be perfect. No, it's not. But there's a way to live it that makes it different. Yeah.
That feels like heaven, which is a vacation to some.
Mm-hmm. Totally. And that's heaven on earth, right?
Indeed. Wow. Amel?
Yeah. Woohoo!
Thank you for your gift once again, for
Yeah.
sharing the wisdom, for sharing God with us.
Oh, thank you so much, Maria. It's always so great to be with you. Yeah, thank you.
I agree.
For being this beautiful reflection. Thank you all too. And as I say every time, or most of the time, don't hesitate. Leave us a message. Tell us how you liked it. Tell us what you would like us to talk about, or just communicate with us so that we can know how we can serve you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Bye.